What's going on, everyone? This is Ecos Blacks here, and we're here again for PRL here at Baku, still trying to get into the championship battle as we continue to make our way up. But you'll see we're gonna go for a medium lap here because I know the mediums mediums aren't the best tire here, to be honest. It's definitely the sauce, but tire degradation is very big here. So I decided for today this race we were actually going to come with typically something I don't do a lot. I've been doing it the past few races besides like Singapore because that's obviously a downforce circuit, but I've actually started coming more with downforce setups rather than straight line speed setups because again this track is super big on downforce. So I decided to make a few changes to the car, add a bit more downforce in the front wing and rear wing, and let's just say we're going to be pretty slow in the straight, and our ERS management is definitely not going to be the best, but we should be really good as the tires start to wear, so as you will see through the race. So we're coming to start sector 3, and honestly, it didn't really feel like the lap was very good. It could have been a lot better, but I didn't really hit my marks very good in sector 2. So, yeah, I thought about going for it again, but there's really just no point because if the race goes completely the rest of the way to the end, if we get like a safety car on lap 4 and it goes all the way to the end, yeah, the tires are going to be just so dead. So, coming to the line, or as we crossed the line, as I was super late on that call, we go P2, but you can see we fell all the way down to P11, which probably wouldn't hurt, but I knew that wasn't going to be the best choice. So we are going to do this lap, and man, just what a lap it was. And as you see in sector 1, I think that says a tenth, almost 2 tenths up. So yeah, the lap was pretty good. I'm hitting my marks very nicely, you know, getting through the corners very well, and going through here you're gonna see we actually set a purple sector 1, so it's very good right now. So yeah, the lap is going very well. As we go up to the castle section, we do this absolutely nicely, hitting our marks just so super good. And right now we are on for pole position, most definitely. And the lap was just, I knew we were going to struggle kind of in qualifying, but to put up this lap even with the setup we have is actually pretty good. But you're going to see here we used way too much curb in the last corner, which completely messes me up, and down the straight we continue to lose time. So oh my god, yeah, so it definitely killed the lap. So we still go P3, but you're going to see that that was actually going to be very costly for our race. As we skip to the race here, sorry I didn't get the qualifying results. You see we're actually going to try and pit on lap 8 because, like I said, the car is very good with tires. So I knew that was going to be the play today, was try and stretch our tires. As you see, we actually have a good bit of wear here. So, and I believe at the end of the formation lap they were like at 11%. So yeah, the tires just wear so quickly on here. And telling my teammates that I just want to get through the first lap. I don't care if I have to lose any spots because I know I'm going to get it back. But like I said, just pay attention. You're going to see how much being the leader means in any type of league race, especially you know, for me, my league races, because that's why I always try to do it. I always try to be the leader. As you saw, I immediately was trying to get by Jesper because I know how big it is to control the race now, especially these last like 4 or 5 races. You want to be number one. As you see, I'm using all the ERS because I'm trying to get by him as he's putting up a bit of a fight, but I wasn't really too committed on the pass, so I just let him have it. But finishing what I was saying, again, you're going to see how big controlling the race is and how big of an advantage. It's probably the biggest advantage you can have in the league race besides like 10 lap pressure tires. So, as you see, completely messed up that section. So we get our first warning, but I believe that was actually my only warning for the race. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but you can see here teammate Jesse leaves, and coming into this twist part, Frosty retires, and that triggers a virtual safety car. So not the full safety car, which is good, but getting back up to speed here, you can see we're 1.6 out of the shorty, but we actually, or Jesper, but we gained that back because we were under Delta, so we could floor it, and we were basically back in. But you can see here, we're actually out of the DRS now, and coming to here, Jesper, or Destroyer, actually had a mistake and had a big slide out of those 2 turns, so he actually nearly crashed out of the race as Rapsu retires out of the race, and it seems to be no safety car. So we're going to keep it moving here, and into the second DRS straight, you can see Destroyer is super close to Jesper, and I'm thinking, okay, this is good, but the safety car comes out at a very late time, so we just have to pit and just move on here, because that definitely was not the safety car I wanted to see, because the mediums would just take a lot longer for degradation to get in. So coming to the start, you can see here Destroyer is actually on the hard tires, which could come into play if he can keep up, but that's just the question, if he can keep up. So coming to the restart zone, you can see I noticed Pletmaster was nowhere near me because I'm very slow in a straight. So I decided to turn my ERS off because I knew in the braking zones I was going to get all that time back, considering they were going to have to check up for each other. As you can see, I think Jesper and Drain are actually battling right now, because Drain was one car that stayed out, and Jesper is not in the mood to waste time here. Again, this is basically what I was talking to you guys about, being in control of the race. And Jesper, since he was the leader, he's already about to get past 2 cars, and I'm stuck behind basically 2 cars on older tires and Destroyer on hard tires. So we're gonna go ahead and try and get past Destroyer here, and as you see, he is definitely using ERS. And we go to the inside as he moved over, but to be fair, he did move over before I did, so that was mainly on me. I think he made a little move to the right, but I'm not quite sure, to be honest. But you can see already Jesper is already starting to get by this traffic. So I see this, and I know I need to get a move on. I can't waste time. So entering this turn, I thought about it, but I decided to wait for a better opportunity as Bronco retires. So going through here, I see Drain has a little bit of a slide, and I decided to try and go through the inside, but you can see he's lagging here, and he actually got hit. So I just decided to give him the spot back because I didn't want to pass him like that. But Plantmaster behind me is trying to get past Destroyer, and I believe he's gonna stay behind and just wait. And I knew at this moment Jesper is gonna be gone, and we should catch him back no matter what because of the downforce we have on our car. So it really just makes sense to just wait and wait for our opportunity, But I really wasn't waiting for that. I was really trying to get by. As you can see here, I am full on the attack here on Dre, and I'm trying my hardest to get by him. And you can see we're putting the ERS back on, and so was he, obviously. I think he knew I was going to do it, and I know I'm slow in a straight line, but I'm kind of just trying to stay close. I don't want to be too far back. As we set a purple sector 3 because of the slipstream in the ERS. Drayan has some weird moment, so we're going to go down the inside. And yeah, just couldn't carry the momentum, so we're just going to have to stay behind. But you can see his light flashing. So we're going to go down the inside again, and he kind of turns in on me. But I think that was his lag. I don't really think he did that himself. So we're up to P3, but Pletmaster, you can see, is right behind me. So I thought it would just be better to work together here and to catch up, because Jesper has about 4 seconds. So I thought it would be smart just to work together here. As you see, I'm trying to I used a bit of battery to try and re-overtake him, but yeah, Pletmaster, to my surprise, was actually using the battery. I didn't understand why, but I guess he wanted to be the first one to get to Albata, and it was right. But you see, going through here, I hit the curb, and I have a big slide. So now I'm out of DRS, but luckily we get back in it because of Albata being on those old tires and Pletmaster being held up. But you can see here, Pletmaster trying to get by, and now again you're seeing what being in control of the race can do for you. Because Jesper, because he was in control of the race at the start, he was the first guy on the medium tires, and you can see the gap he's built. So I mean, you can do those things when you are the first car on new tires. You know, you can push to get out ahead even more while guys are getting held up. So he just has an enormous gap. But you can see here, again, we make a mess. I can feel the back of the car getting light. So now we've actually out of the DRS of Pletmaster, and Albata is actually in mine with Drayan in tow. So I'm trying to push to get back into that DRS because I need to be in that DRS, especially with the wings I have. So, but you can see here, we're just not getting time because we don't have the ERS to push with all this downforce, so the engine is just having to work more, which means we can't really recoup the ERS. But honestly, I thought we were recouping it pretty nicely, but I just had to use a lot of it because of me, again, not being in control of the race. So moving on here, you can see this was as big as the gap got. Was, I think, 2 seconds to Pletmaster. I think he got about to 4.8 for Jesper, but I want you to watch this. So again, I told you the downforce on our car was going to come in as the tires age, and you can see we got, I think we actually got it down to 1.7, or actually I mean 1.5, but you can see here Pletmaster gets a 3-second penalty, and I think in sector 2 he was like 2 seconds ahead, and we got it down to 1.5. So the tires are starting to wear, and not even that, we gained 6/10 on Jesper. So at the start of the run, these guys have the edge, but Albata retires, and this causes another safety car as the tires were starting to wear. So yeah, just didn't, I thought this was actually a really bad break for us because the tires were really starting to wear, which really sucked in my opinion. And I thought we were going to be in perfect position because Pletmaster was going to hold up Jesper, And we were both rapidly gaining on Jesper, but I was also gaining on Pledmaster as the tires were, but he kind of could pull me back a bit. So it was just basically trading off, but we both were catching Jesper. But the safety car obviously ruined that. But anyways, here going into turn one, you're seeing that I'm trying to get the Pledmaster, but I see I'm not fast enough in a straight line. Again, with the downforce I have. And the tires, we haven't even gone yet, and these are fresh tires, and we're already up to 7%. So that just goes to show you how much downforce means. But I think even if we didn't run a straight line, or we ran a straight line setup, as you see Pledmaster using his straight line speed go by Jesper, I still think straight line speed would have been big because of you would be able to overtake. And you can see I just wasn't able to overtake because I wasn't fast enough in a straight line and close enough going into the braking zone. That's why straight line speed means so much. As you see us here, we hit Jesper, and I'm not going to overtake him like that. I decided to give it back to him because even if I did, I would just be reported after the race. So I just knew it didn't, just give it back to him and watching for Destroyer here. But you're going to see very quickly Pledmaster with that 3-second penalty is trying to get out of the 3-second range, obviously. And you can see here, my ICE is actually on 11%. My gearbox is on 10%. That could be also a play of why I'm pretty bad in the straight lines. So, you see Jesper is still on the battery, and this is just making me waste all my battery. So I have to turn it off. And now DRS is enabled. And now I'm thinking, is he going to be close enough? But he actually has a bad turn one. And then going through here, I think we're going to pick up about another 10.5 and just pull him off this corner. So you can kind of already start to see the tires are starting to get better for me. And you're going to see that with this gap to Pledmaster. You can see the gap was about 1.4, I believe. Well, watch what it is coming through here. You can see it's already down to 1.1. And then going through here, watch this. We set a purple sector 1. And here, we got it down to 9 tenths, 8 tenths, almost 7 tenths. We gained 4 tenths just in a matter of 2 corners. But you'll see, and we have actually broken the DRS of Jesper because of the safety car and us going and having to go to soft tires. You can see Pledmaster was really good out of that castle section, and he actually broke our DRS, and Jesper is actually in my DRS. So, and I have no battery, but I knew we were going to be able to pull Jesper in the second sector. As you see again, the time we gain is going to be insane. We gain about almost another 3 tenths. We gained 2.5 tenths just to those 2 corners. As you see, Pledmaster is really starting to struggle on his tires. So, and now we have definitely broken the DRS as long as we get through this corner fine and the next 2 fine on Jesper. As you can see, the tires are starting to swing in my advantage because, again, that lower downforce, I came with the thought process of race, not qualify. And I knew tires were going to be a big problem this race. So we're on for our 5th straight win in PRL. But you see here, we were in the DRS, but since we did the same thing we did in qualifying, we have to push again to stay in the DRS. And luckily, at first, I thought we did, but I started seeing that gap go up very quickly. But now, it is 1 second, but we are in the DRS, luckily. So now we can kind of just chill as Destroyer gets by Jesper. And now I can kind of just chill, get some ERS, and wait to pass Pledmaster, and then push to break him out of DRS. And moving on to lap 24, you're going to see here we are pulling away from the guys behind, but there is a medium runner in G that has actually started to really gain some time here because our soft tires are running so bad, and Pledmaster's tires are just going off. You can see them really sliding off the corner. I am just taking good care of my tires. But going through, Pledmaster is really trying to push it here. You can see he has a slide, and he actually hits the wall and spins out. And because of that, Destroyer and the rest are in my DRS now. So now I don't have the battery to stay ahead. I'm obviously going to try, but I know I'm going to be under attack. As you can see here, coming out of this turn, we actually get a pretty decent turn. We did gain a little bit of time, nearly a tenth, but I didn't use my ERS yet. But coming through here, now I'm going to use it because I want to stay ahead. I don't want anyone to get by me. But you can see, with the downforce and no battery, we are so slow in a straight. And I can see now we're going to have to defend. But you can see here, G is actually on the outside of Destroyer. And we hit Destroyer. And we're basically out of the race. But you can see the gap to Dran was 4.4 seconds, and going to the next lap, coming to the checker, we got it down to 2.9, but we're obviously going to lose now because of the straight. But yeah, for everything we went through that race, we still almost won it. Basically should have won it, but circumstances just didn't play out, and we fall down to P7, which will soon be P8 because my teammate Jesse got a BS 5-second penalty. So we actually finished P8 this race, which should have been at least, at the very least, P2. But again, it goes to show you how important being in control of the race is. And Jesper, since he was P2, he was the first one to get by Destroyer. And you know, I was stuck behind Destroyer and those other cars, and like I said, these guys, you know, you wonder why I'm so aggressive. It's just, I know how big being in control of the race is. So, you know, you can even ask Adrian and Premier about how big it is to be the leader. But congrats to the top three. Also apologize to Destroyer. You know, I thought at first it was his fault, but he was 3 wide, so we had to give space at the end of the day, and I had to. It was probably my fault too, but I was moving over to the racing lines, but I don't know. You know, it was just a racing incident. I didn't report nobody, but now we are basically lost 27 points to Destroyer. So at the end of the day, our championship is looking very, very unlikely now, but we still have a couple of races to get back into it. But yeah, that's definitely going to be a big blow. But yeah, probably should have won the race, but at the end of the day, I'm proud of how I still managed to put myself in position. But that's enough for me of Eco's Blacks here, and I will see you guys next Sunday in Jeddah for PRL. Have a nice night.